let me do a little, okay, we're recording. I'm going to do a little introduction for you all, because you're that special. So everybody, welcome to our Sunday breakfast lunch training. We are so honored to have Saturday. Did I say Sunday?
I thought we missed Saturday.
I was like, is it Sunday? Because I am screwed up on my day.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that could totally happen. Yes, it could. Okay, so Kris and Susie McColl are literally the funniest diamonds in our country. I mean, I'm all a mess. In our
country. Thank you. Recognize.
I'm a mess.
Australia. Are we the funniest ones in Australia?
Why not Canada? What happened to Canada? They don't think we're funny?
New Zealand, they don't like us.
Okay. It's Saturday breakfast lunch, December 1st, and Kris and Susie McColl are our special guests, the funniest diamonds in all of Plexus and the world.
Yes.
Woo! Worldwide.
Thank you.
I met Kris I loved them from their diamond documentary when they first started. And then I got to meet them on a party bus at Leaders Retreat. And we were, hold on, I'm going to mute people. Okay, that's better. I'm going to unmute you guys. There we go. Okay. So we're having a great start today. So they were on the party bus, which meant there were Christmas lights on the inside, and they were doing stuff like this on the 10-minute drive from the place before the VIP party back to the hotel. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they're talking to me. They didn't know my name or anything because nobody knew who I was then. So, but they were so nice and genuine, and I love that about them. If you don't know, they are best-selling authors of their recently released book. You can buy it on Amazon. It's called The Day I Woke Up Dead. Day I Woke Up Dead by Kris and Susie McColl. And it shares their journey of healing through addiction. And I'm not kidding you guys. I wasn't planning on plugging their book today, but but you literally should buy this for everyone in your family for Christmas. Like, I've never laughed so hard and loved a book so much. So go get it. It's like a little tiny short read, which means it took me 2 months, but everyone else will take you 2 days. And it's literally them going back and forth like this in a book. So I just write some more books. I'll buy them. And I love you guys. So they're going to teach us today about a few things. And I'm just going to let you guys take it away. So take it away. This is my team. And Brooke.
Hey, team.
Hi, team.
Wow. You guys have an amazing leader. We love her. And here's what we love. We love real people. Okay.
Yes.
Just people that are authentic. Who they are. They're authentic. And you don't have, if we met you guys and you came over to our house, you'd be like, hey, that's the same people we know. And that's what we think about Emily, right?
Our dogs would jump on you.
Oh, yeah. We'd be embarrassed. We'd constantly being apologizing, going, we're sorry, you guys. We're sorry.
Yeah, it would be bad. But we would be ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. So, hey, today we thought we would just kind of share with you guys. Okay, a couple things you got to know about us. We love Plexus. Did you guys know that? That's cool, right?
You love Plexus.
Right?
And I'm having my pink drink right now as we are on.
Suze, show the viewers your lower back Plexus tattoo. Show them, Suze, go!
I was like, oh my gosh! I've never seen that before. I'm so excited.
I know. We're only going to break it out for y'all because we love you guys the most. So show them, Susie.
No tattoo yet. Not yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think our kids would disown us.
They probably would. But hey, we want to kind of walk you through. We're going to just touch base and just kind of show you a little bit about our story just really fast. Okay. Then we're going to kind of hone in on some things that we did by accident that we want you guys to do on purpose. I mean, like there's some things that we did because honestly, we didn't even know what we were doing, right?
Oh,
Suze?
we had no idea what we were doing. First of all, if you don't know our story, we literally signed up. I wanted to quit Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Kris mocked me
Thank
about
you,
drinking.
Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Kris mocked me about drinking this pink drink because I told him it would make him lose weight and be healthy, and he mocked me about that.
Yeah.
We literally ordered, I'm cheap. I always want the discount, always. I want a coupon, like still to this day. I am looking for coupons when I'm in line, no matter where I'm at. And so we joined for the discount. Never in a zillion years did we think this would happen. But yet here we are,
yeah.
5.5 years later. And so I think, Kris, what Kris said, we're going to tell you some things we did on accident that were key to our success.
Yeah. And so like one of the very first things I'm going to talk about or just tell you about is social media. And like, I think this is so critical because there's a major mistake that we see a lot of people make when they're using social media to grow their business. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about some things that I want you to do. And then I'm going to tell you about some ideas that I want you to consider stop doing. And the very first thing I want you to do, and this is the biggest mistake I see people make using social media to grow their plexus business, is in their mind, they say, the more I post about plexus, the more opportunities I'm going to have to grow my business. And I'm here to tell you that is the exact opposite of what I want you to do. And the reason I want you to stop doing that is because I want you to imagine watching your favorite show on TV, whatever that is. Susie, the most exciting rose ceremony. Is that fair? Huh, Suze?
I don't think that's my favorite.
What is your favorite?
Show?
Survivor?
What is my favorite show?
When a commercial comes on, what most people do, if you DVR a show, you fast forward or you change the channel. And that's what your friends will do on social media if you do not give them your real life along with your plexus business, right, Suze?
Yes.
So walk through what that would look like for you.
So here's the deal. Like and this goes with one of the key things, and this is gonna sound so basic, but this is, keep it simple, y'all. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Consistency is key.
Yes.
If you do not remember anything else I say, we don't miss a day of our products. We don't miss a day of doing something with our business. No matter, it might look different day to day, but we're doing something with our business. So I want you to hear that. So, but here's what Kris is saying. You don't have to go on 10 times a day and be like plexus, 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 plexus. But you can go on and post about a healthier lifestyle, freedom lifestyle. Like Kris and I make lots of posts where we never say plexus, but people are going, wow, they have all that extra time. No kidding. We had one of our dream people sign up because we talked about, are there kids in the room?
Probably.
Yes. But none of them.
No, earmuffs, children. Earmuffs. No, Susie.
Yes, we were talking about special hugs in the middle of the day. We've been married a long time. We can do that. Okay?
Yeah.
And so, literally, that is why she signed up, because she was like, I want to be able to have special hugs. Nothing that we did. Like, we didn't say plexus, but people.
Are you guys talking about? Are you guys? You like cut out for a minute. Are you talking about having a quickie in the middle of the day?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Listen, you guys, Susie chases me around the house 24/7. Sometimes back away. I need to rest. Okay, right?
A green teamer signed up because of that.
Yeah.
So we never said plexus, but people know that we do plexus. They know we have this freedom. She wanted to be able to have quickies during the middle of the day with her husband.
Now watch this, you guys. Watch this.
I think a lot of men would get on board with that idea.
That's what I'm trying to tell everybody.
Women, if you're on board, have them watch this, and they will be on board.
So here's the other thing I want you to know about social media. I think some people think that by posting on social media that they have, quote, worked their business. And there is it literally is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. So not only do I want you to post more about your personal life, and I mean, if you hear me saying right now, don't post about plexus on social media, you are not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying be strategic about it. Don't forget to post about the smaller things in your life, about what you ate for dinner, taking the dogs on a walk, but kind of send a message of I'm trying to improve my life type message. Now, if you know us at all, I'm not saying be fake, okay? Like if you hear the word fake or anything about that, I'm just saying be strategic. So here's the next thing I want you to know. Sending somebody a private message or an email or a text, or in Susie's case, she loves the phone, calling people. This is a much more effective way to work your business. On social media is broadcasting like this massive message to everybody, and you're hoping that message hits them at the right time and they hear it, and if the algorithms align and they see it, but sending somebody a message, maybe about a diamond doc, about a single mom, and you know somebody's struggling with their finances, that's like hitting your target. That's like sending a message directly to them, and it hits a bullseye every single time you send it, so your odds greatly improve in growing your business, right, Suze?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you look beautiful today?
Thanks. I put on makeup and fixed my hair for this.
Okay, Suze, what's the next thing we're going to talk about?
Really not for this, but I have some other stuff later.
No, Suze, make them feel Suze.
For this, off of this.
All for this.
Okay, so here's another thing. I used to not say this for the first like 2 years because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings, but now I say it all the time. So here it goes. The healthier that you get, the healthier your business is going to get.
This is an absolute fact.
So we are a health and wellness company.
Suze,
And the very...
you guys want to come get some of my health products? They're fantastic. I'm sleeping terrible. My life sucks. Who wants some of this stuff? You guys want some? Don't be unhealthy.
Here's a funny story. The very first convention that we went to, Kris and I are so excited to be there. We are the biggest plexus nerds alive, and we don't know a whole lot. Like, we're pretty new. Like, we started in August. This is in May. We drove to Dallas. We didn't even know how lucky we were that convention was so close. But we get out of our car, and we get in an elevator. And in the elevator, there's this couple. And they've got this luggage rack that has the most bad, like I'm talking Cheetos and Ding Dongs and Mountain Dew
Cases of Coke.
and Dr. Pepper, and it's loaded. Like they're going to be there for 2 weeks.
And we're going to prospect them because I'm thinking these people need what we have.
These people need something.
Oh, wait a second, Suze. They are. They have a plexus shirt on.
They were plexus.
You guys are with plexus? Are you not digging them?
And I was like literally dumbfounded. Like my mouth dropped. I was like, they get out of the elevator, and I look at Kris. I'm like,
what
do
the
you see
heck?
what those people had on their cart? They're plexus. Then fast forward, our leaders retreat, the one that you were talking about, Emily. I don't know if you remember this, but there were people outside. If you smoke, I'm sorry. I'm about to hurt your feelings. But they are outside Disney World with their plexus shirts on, smoking. And I was like, wow.
It sends a terrible message.
So first of all, quit smoking.
Stop doing it. You guys are going to die.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Don't smoke with your plexus stuff on.
Oh, by yourself in the toilet. And then quit it because smoking is terrible. Okay.
So my point is, once again, we're not telling you to be fake, because if you know us at all, we are very genuine, okay? But here's the deal. Use your plexus business. If you want to be successful in this business, use your business as your biggest accountability partner ever. Please. To become the healthiest version that you can be.
Yeah. Now, that's striving to get better. If you hear skinny,
That's
or
we're
not talking about that. We're talking about health. We're talking about striving to improve. That's your main mission. So here's the next thing we're going to talk about.
Was that harsh? Was I mean?
No,
I'm
Suze,
sorry.
it's fine.
No, that was great. You're doing just fine.
Okay.
Just fine.
So
You're doing fine.
I think that one of the questions a lot of people ask us is they go, well, how do you talk about the business in person? Okay. Now this is Suze. Can we tell about you and the business for like the first 6 months? Can you talk about that?
Oh, I didn't tell anybody about the business.
No, there was no business.
Because I would, like, my worst nightmare would be that people would think that I was just trying to make money off selling them something. Like, I'm not a salesperson. If I didn't believe in these products a zillion %, I would never tell anybody about them. So I didn't talk about the business.
Now what do you know?
Well, now I know that just as many people need the business as need the health products.
Right.
And so really we're ripping people off. And this is the moment that it took to click in my head. We went to Nebraska to do an opportunity event, which was weird that we were even going to Nebraska to do an opportunity event. Yep. But there we were. And a girl came up to us that was on our team, and she literally like started crying. And she was like, I just want you to know that I've lost, not only have I lost like 25 pounds, my son's lost 20 pounds. It's changed our lives, changed our health. But my last Plexus paycheck paid my mortgage and half my car payment. And before Plexus, I was having to depend on him. And she's pointing at her 19-year-old son to help me pay those bills.
Yeah.
And like, I got teary, and it was such a moment for me of realizing how important this, like, so many people are financially And hey, we have been through the financial.
Oh gosh, you
depths
guys.
of hell.
If you read their book, you will get to see all about it.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell them about the ants. Tell them about the ants.
Tell them about what?
The ants
Tell them about the ants.
that attacked you.
Oh,
in our book. Yeah.
the ants in the book.
Yeah.
I wanted to move.
Yeah.
I was
She was
moving
gonna
out
burn
of
their
that
house
from
down.
the ants.
It was.
It was
I literally
in
wanted to move.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we have been, I felt like God marinated us in bronchitis because he wanted us to really have appreciation when we no longer had bronchitis, don't you think?
Yeah.
And so but talking about the business in person, here's really the best way to talk about the business in person. Not talk so much, but listen more. I feel like people are constantly telling you that they're, struggling. If you ask the lady that's checking you out at the grocery store, how's your day going? And she says, same crap, different day. She's probably someone you should take a look at prospecting for the business because nobody really wants to be there. So if you're a good listener, you're going to be an effective Plexus ambassador, don't you think?
Yes, and here's the thing. They're working, so you can't really go into your whole speech right then. Trust me, I'm guilty of this.
Getting their information is the key ingredient, okay? Because you're in control of the follow-up.
I hand my phone to them and on Facebook. I'll say, are you on Facebook? They say yes. I hand them my phone. I say, find you. They put themselves in. And then they click add friend. And then that way I screenshot it and then I can follow up with them later.
Yeah.
I don't count on them to find me as a friend or add me as a friend anymore. I used to do that, but that's not very practical. You need to have them do it right then.
So those are some ideas for you. Now, here's something that I want you guys to really pay close attention to. I thought they were asking. When you become a gold ambassador, okay? We have seen over the last five and a half years, a couple things happen at Gold. Okay, first of all,
we have a bunch of new Gold ambassadors in the room. So let's give our brand new Gold. Raise your hand.
This is a true statement. I want every single one of you to hear this. If you can go Gold, you can become a jewel with this company. I promise you. Okay, it's an absolute fact. There's such a big jump from silver to gold that those things that you're doing are the same things you're going to do. Now you're just going to help other people do them. But here's the key. You're going to continue to do the things that you did that got you to gold. I remember when Susie and I originally started, we went fast start gold before we even knew what that meant. Okay. We were enrolling a lot of people. We were bringing a lot of people in, but we really didn't know what we were doing.
I have to stop you for a second.
Okay.
Hold that thought. I want you to know this. We did not have some huge Facebook audience when we started this, and I think it's important you know that. I had 250 friends, maybe.
I had 251 because I always have more friends than Susie. Okay.
And a lot of our friends were the same friends. So it was not like we had some big audience. I want you to know that.
Everyone come to Plexus. It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. And I would have told you if somebody had said to me, oh, you could do great at this because you have influence, I would have been like, no, I don't. Here's what Kris and I have. We talk to people and we like talking to people and we like people. And so we make friends easily and we have 4 kids. So we have plenty of opportunity to make friends. Now go back to your thought. I just wanted to stress.
No, that's good. So with the gold thing, here's what we did. So we had done all these things without really knowing what we were doing. And this is how we got really introduced to the idea that Plexus could change everything for us. Back then, Plexus still sent paper checks. And so we had gone fast start gold. We had crazy PV, but they sent us our very first check. And Susie keeps telling me, I'm getting lots of emails.
I think we're making money.
And I go, Suze, nobody makes any money in those things. Okay, so don't get excited.
Those things.
Yeah, I go, maybe you can make enough money to go to the movies with the kids or something.
Yeah.
But we're standing at our mailbox and we tear open our very first check from Plexus. Remember, our very first check from Plexus. And I look down and my jaw drops. Okay, I look right at Susie and I go, oh my gosh, I think we've done something illegal. Okay. I could not believe they sent us real money.
And then he said, and I like it.
And I like it. Yeah. I go, let's but
that's what he said.
So we could have paid our mortgage 4 times with that very first check that Plexus sent us. And so I looked at Susie and I go, holy moly, imagine if we were really putting forth effort. We better look at the compensation plan. That's how we kind of transitioned.
Can I stop you for a second? This is one of those things we did on accident. We did not look ahead to what do we have to do to go diamond? We didn't do that. What we did was when we hit gold and we got, I think it was senior gold, maybe we look, what do we need to do to go ruby? What do we need to do? And then once we hit ruby, what do we need to do to go senior ruby? I think a lot of people come into this and they're like, well, I want to be an emerald. What do I need to do to be an emerald? And they're not even silver yet. So I love having the BHAGs, the big, hairy, audacious goals, but make sure that you have little attainable goals, because it's like running a marathon. If you've never ran a marathon and you decide you're going to go out and run 26 miles, you're probably going to quit half of the first mile through. But if you slowly train and get yourself to it, you're going to accomplish it.
That's fabulous, Susie. That was such a fabulous explanation, Susie.
I know. So that was one of the things we did. We had no idea what it took to go diamond until we were probably sapphire. And then we were like, what do we need to do now?
Let me tell you, this is the mistake. And I'm just going to warn you about this, because 5.5 years, we have a team of 40,000+ people, and we were able to really kind of zero in on areas that I see people do well and mistakes that people make. For whatever reason, when people get to gold, they get in this, some people get in this management mode where they have this team. And so suddenly they feel like, oh, I just have to be so focused on my team. And I have to be so focused on, being now I'm gold. I have, 20 people on my team. Listen, the best example, the best thing you can do for your team is to set an example of what you did to go gold. And that was constantly adding new ambassadors, constantly growing, constantly doing the things that you're asking them to do. The moment you stop doing that, you become this manager like, okay, guys, I got me to gold. You guys push me the rest of the way. It's a major mistake.
Go team,
yeah,
go
team, go. And so don't stop doing the things that you've been personally doing. We were in this 90-day challenge. Somebody had issued a 90-day challenge about the time we had the second
month. It might have been Celeste Quinn. I'm not really sure.
So let's say
we're not even on our team, but we thought we were.
Right. So we're doing this. Isn't that the truth, right?
We really did.
And so I told Susie, I go, Suze, they're issuing this challenge. And we were about goldish, senior goldish, right?
Yeah.
The next month. And I go, we're going to go crazy. We're going to go as hard as we can go. Susie looks at me and she goes, what have we been doing?
I know. I was like, how much harder can we, literally, here's what I want to tell you real quick. I have a lot of things I'd say real quick.
No, do it.
I hear a lot of people talk about balance, okay? And how you should have it. We had zero balance, no balance at all.
None.
For our first, we went diamond in a year, and that's kind of fast, but we had zero balance. None. Have no idea what grades my kids made in school that year. Kids would come in and talk to me, and I'd be like, they'd leave, and I had no idea what they said, because Kris and I both were on this mania of messaging. And that's what he was talking about earlier. It wasn't just post on Facebook. He's messaging people, I'm messaging people, we're calling people, we're having meetings with people. We're going to weird places and having opportunity events, and we didn't even know what those were.
I would set a huge bowl of cornflakes on the table, and I'd look at the kids and say, pace yourselves, because you're going to be hungry come Friday.
Now,
right?
if you're sitting there judging us, first of all, we've been parents a long time. We have a 23-year-old.
Judge Susie, it was her idea.
We have a 23-year-old down to a 15-year-old, and we're really good parents. But we saw what plexus could be, and our eyes were open, and we decided to go full throttle. Now,
Susie,
all the balance.
Susie.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
Oh, I'm a young 45.
And I'm 47.
Seven. He's 47. He thinks he's 46. He's 47.
I think I'm 46, you guys.
He's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So listen, literally that year was so crazy. I've never been so unorganized. My house became really dirty. All the things, but nothing was as important, because we understood that what we had hold of was so special. Plus, we were really helping a lot of people. That was what motivated me. The first message that I got from somebody that said, I didn't even know how depressed I'd been living. I had been depressed and I didn't even know it. Or the person that said they paid their house payment. Those were the kind of messages we're getting over and over. And that was our motivation to keep going.
Right. And here's the other thing you got to know. Now the balance, it's like the freedom meter has swung so much to our advantage that now we live this we're not going to stop. You guys realize this, that we're on a mission. Our team mission statement is to help people live a happier, healthier life of freedom. And it's not words, it's actions. So, but if we were going to go up to the school to see our daughter in the middle of the day, we can do that. I taught my whole family, I feel like I was teaching my older kids wrong. I was like, you go to college, you get a job, and then you trade time for money. And now I feel like I have to undo all that, because when you have an opportunity in a company like what Plexus presents, it's a legacy thing. Like, you're not just changing your life, you're changing your kids' lives and their kids' lives, because you can will your business for generations to come. So know this. Don't stop. Don't let other people that aren't willing to make the sacrifices, don't let other people that aren't willing to do what you're going to do talk you out of chasing and living this life of freedom that you can live. I mean, you've got a great example in Emily. You have a great surrounding of a bunch of loving, caring people that will cheer you on while you do it. But don't find yourself on the sidelines watching other people do it. I know Emily well enough to know that, like, it's not the Emily show. It's not the Kris and Susie show. This is a you show. And you need to make sure that you're in the game and not just cheering other people on. Don't you think, Susie?
Yes. And I think it's super important to just stay true to who you are. I want to make sure I get this in here. So Kris and I had a very negative feeling about network. I didn't even know the term network marketing. I'd never heard of that. Yeah. But MLMs, like Kris and I. And so we had to come about it from something that was genuine to us and authentic to us. But our style is not necessarily going to be your style. So I'm just saying, don't look at somebody and be like, oh, I'm going to do everything they do, if that's not genuine to who you are.
Yes.
So be genuine to who you are, but make sure that you're growing as a person.
You guys would not believe you cannot imagine the amount of self-growth that Susie has experienced. But in all seriousness, we just want you guys to be there. We want to celebrate with you guys in Hawaii. And we know that it takes work. We know it takes sacrifice, but we also know anybody can do this. And so we've never met you, right? Like some of y'all, we've never met you. How do we know that? We have met so many jewels from so many backgrounds of quiet, not a salesperson. Let me guess, you're from a small town. None of those things matter.
They don't matter.
This is about being consistent over time. And if you'll work hard and you'll start to grow as a person, you'll look up a year from now and your life will be totally different. Don't you agree?
Yeah. And somebody just asked me the other day, what's your number one memory from your first Super Saturday? And I think our first Super Saturday, I was Ruby or Senior Ruby. Yeah. I don't even know. Kris didn't go. He gave up his ticket so one of our team members could go. And
she's now an Emerald.
Yeah. And I would say that that's another thing, like, be willing to sacrifice for your team. Like, I think that's something, a key to success. Agreed. But anyways, the biggest takeaway, and I'll never forget it, Lori Harrison, who's a diamond, if you don't know who she is, she actually said, keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. You're going to have bumps. There's going to be waves. Things are going to happen. Keep on swimming. And it was one of those moments, like, that is forever emblazoned. And I will tell you, like, we've gone through 2 back office changes. We've gone through people leaving Plexus to go to the next best thing.
Gosh, you guys.
We've gone through so many different things, product changes, whatever. But that has not changed our course. Our belief in the company, our belief in the products, our belief in the leadership is so strong that we always trust that they have our best interest. And so that's what we lead our team with. And we always, we like, your belief in the products, the company, yourself is going to be, that's going to equal your success in the business.
You're rocking the Zoom, Susie.
So keep on
fire. Go, Susie. I love you, woman.
I think he's making fun
of
her.
No, I wasn't. I was being serious. That was such good.
Keep on swimming.
Keep swimming, you guys. Swimming. Put your swim fins on.
Okay, there.
Okay. You guys.
It's not in order.
I know. Hopefully we said something that somebody heard. We want you guys to be with us. We know you can do it.
Emily, I think, has questions for us.
Shoot.
Emily?
I was just gonna, if you have time, I was gonna let people in the audience ask questions. Do you have like 10 minutes for that? Is that?
Yes.
I'm right here talking on the side. Hi.
Oh, hi.
It's the voice. Okay. Who has questions for them that you'd like to ask?
Don't be shy.
Melissa.
Go, Melissa.
No team.
What do you do if you have no team? It's just you working.
Okay, great question.
You need to get more team.
We're going to get you some team. Okay, how many customers do you have to become a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide?
I know the answer.
Susie, how many? 0, right? I'm not going to give you philosophies on our business about how we grow, but in all seriousness, if your goal is to become a
Wait. Say that again. It beeped out. Say that again.
Oh, how many customers do you have to become a jewel with Plexus?
Zero.
Right. And listen, if your goal is, you said, I don't have any team. If your goal is to become a jewel, that means we have to get team. That means we have to grow ambassadors. And so if you're working from a customer standpoint, or maybe you started 3 years ago and you haven't even made the effort to try to build a team.
But what if they've built a team of ambassadors that are wholesale ambassadors and they are struggling to motivate people to work with them?
Okay, the number one thing I have to answer this is,
go ahead.
You cannot instill desire in anybody, okay? So if your wholesale ambassadors are running around and they feel great on the products, that's great. Maybe they've quit. It doesn't matter. That means we need to find new team. But you cannot want it for them. You can show them. You can cast vision for them. You can show them what the possibilities are. But have you ever had somebody you thought was going to be a total rock star join your team and do nothing? Right? We all have. I remember thinking, this person with this person, this person. Listen, what you have to do is stay consistent, send a message of consistency, but don't ever stop trying to find new ambassadors, new people that need what we have. How many broke people do you know? Seriously, like a lot, right? I mean, so what you have to focus on is finding people, and then eventually, the right people will come in, the right people will see the opportunity, and they'll run, don't you think?
Yeah, and quick success. Like, I know Emily's huge on getting people to silver fast, and
yes.
that's even if they're wholesale, if you can get them to see some vision about getting your mom, your aunt, your sister. Yeah. I haven't met a person yet that hasn't liked getting a paycheck from Plexus.
True
like
story.
Even my dad texted me and was like, and my dad's pretty well off, and he texted me, he's like, Plexus sent me money. They don't even understand why or have any idea why, but I haven't met one person that is not like, oh, this is pretty cool, I'm getting a check back.
Yeah, and then I'm going to give you the last little piece of this. Susie and I literally pray every single day that the Lord bring
that
people.
That should have been our number one answer.
No, it's the truth. But seriously, no, but I want you to hear this, because without it, and you don't have to believe what we believe, okay? You can believe whatever you believe. I'm just saying, I want you to rely upon that. People show up to us and they're like, this is weird.
Yeah.
My husband lost his job 2 weeks ago, and now you guys, I don't know. And so make sure that you're praying that the Lord bring you the right people. Don't you think that's massively huge?
Yeah, and I feel like I should say this.
Say it, Susie.
So I'm super non-pressury to people, like probably a little too non-pressury to people. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes we're so gung-ho, we're so excited, and we're watching every Zoom and every live, and we're all Plexus, and somebody new comes in, and we want them to do all of that. We're excited, and it scares them away. And so I just want you to be careful about that. Like, you have to kind of meet people where they're at. If it's a working mom and she's working all day and then trying to be there for her kids, like, just give her little bits. Don't expect her to be on every Zoom, every live, because she's going to be like, I can't do this. Yeah. Like, it has to fit into their life.
Yeah.
What would those little bits look like, Suze?
Well, like, I'll send people little short videos like about the product so they can learn about for me, product information and them seeing, oh, I really need this product, or so-and-so needs this product. Like, that's key. That's what gets people actually sharing with other people.
Yeah.
And I'll put it into their head. Hey, if you know anybody that has this, or this, and everybody knows somebody that needs to lose weight, has blood sugar issues, has pain and inflammation, or lost their job. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to make sure we got in there. You never know, like, your warm market is really never tapped out, because you never know where people are at. Like,
they're constantly changing.
Yeah, they're changing. Like, so Kris and I have been doing Plexus very consistently for 5.5 years. We've had people come to us, even in the last few months, that have watched us the whole entire time, never said a word about it. But now they're like, okay, now I
hate my job. I got divorced. Whatever.
Yeah,
right?
It's the weirdest thing. Sometimes Kris says, have you been in prison?
Yeah. What pink thing you're talking about? I go, have you been in prison?
So my point is, you just never know where people are at along the way. Okay. Is that enough on that one?
Oh, yes.
Is that question,
yes.
Emily.
Yes.
So, Kris, did you start this with Susie, or just Susie first?
No, we signed up literally. Susie, a friend of ours that coaches our son's baseball, one day she was talking about the pink drink. So, but in our, like, when we tell you our story, Susie actually signed up as an ambassador first. We didn't know what we were doing. We were growing the business together from day one. Once we realized it was a business. And so even in that first month when we went past our gold, we were having my friends, her friends, but we all sent them to Susie's website at the beginning.
I get all the glory.
Yeah.
So did either one of you have a job when you started?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Totally, yeah. So if you don't know, we should have probably hit our story a little bit more. So we owned a mortgage company here in Oklahoma. We went really broke in the mortgage business.
Really broke.
Like broke, you guys. Like
Bad
it was.
time.
And so when we came out of that, we got to the fishing business, and we thought we would do that forever. We were in the fishing business. We owned a fishing company when plexus came into our lives, and like our fishing company became a distraction. And so very, very quickly we realized that we needed to sell the fishing company, and we did. And then we just have continued with plexus.
Not only did we have that, but I also taught fitness classes, and I was writing children's books for my dad's company. So like we were as busy as you could possibly be.
Yep.
But what happened was plexus, we thank the Lord for how broke we were, because that, like, I would rather have somebody that has a huge why, a huge desire, has been broke and knows the hardship, than somebody with a lot of influence any day, because I want the person that knows what it's like.
Because they will put in the sweat equity to get it done.
And they won't give up if things aren't easy, because that was us. Like I remember staining wood for it was 110 degrees outside, and that was what I needed to do at that time period for my family's business.
And you guys, my male stripping career was going nowhere. He was my best customer. Okay.
Kris loves to make that joke.
It's my funny.
He was really never a male stripper.
No, but
I
it's
know,
so
that's
fun
hard
to
to believe.
say. I know.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Emily, we have like 2 minutes because I have to take my daughter somewhere.
Okay. Any other last questions for them? One more question.
What would they encourage us to focus on as new?
What would you encourage them to focus on as new ambassadors?
Don't be so overwhelmed with the information. You have something that most people covet that have been in this business a long time, and that is you have the ability for everything to be new, right? You don't have to know all the details. Information is hugely important, but just do the basics. I mean, look, if you have friends that want to come along with you as a new ambassador, say, I don't really understand everything, but I feel great. And if you are, I'm earning some extra income. Do you want to do that too? Is that something you'd want to do? Like the message can be so simple then. And I would encourage you as a new ambassador to let that enthusiasm and that natural excitement to come through. And here's a piece of advice for everybody in the room. And we made a habit of doing this, and I think it's probably the most important thing I could give you while you're here. Every single time, I don't care what level it is to you, every single time you get an email that says you have a new customer or you have a new ambassador on your team, I want it to ring an alarm in your head that says, I need to contact 3 people, because you will be naturally excited to share what's happening, because you're so excited when you get that email that says, oh my gosh, somebody just joined my team. And now you can say, when you call Sally next door and say, Sally, Jenny just joined my team. I really wish you would do it too. Would you want to take a look at what we're doing? She may join you just because you're excited. So, but it will keep you in this constant motion of invitations to new people. And so that would be my advice.
I agree with Kris. Keep it simple. I think that's something that everybody or we wait until we know everything about the comp plan before we're going to share. We wait until we know everything about every product and every ingredient before we're going to share. Don't do that. We didn't know jack about the compensation plan. We didn't know jack about the products even. Like, I just learned that as I went along. People would ask me like, oh, what's in this and what's this? And I'd be like, I don't know. Let me find out for you. The people that are willing to research and do their own work are the people that we see go far in the business.
Yeah. Good job.
Okay.
Okay,
hey,
guys.
thank you so much. We love you.
This has been our favorite Zoom that we've ever done, just so you guys know.
You guys are our favorite.
You guys are literally our favorite, period.
Love you, Emily.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. Thanks, you guys. Okay, I'm going to put this on. We're going to do one. Hi, guys. Wasn't that fun? We see all 13 of you there. We're so glad that you're on and listening. I am going to try and fix this so that we can see everybody. How do I do this? Oh, maybe exit full screen, gallery view. Okay, there. And why is it not putting it on me? Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Okay, those of you who are watching on the on the recording, can you see me in the big picture? Can somebody type that into the chat who's watching? Can you guys see me in the big thing, or is it saying Becca? Yes, you can see me. Okay, perfect. Then we'll just leave that be then. Okay, so what I want to do right now, the biggest focus that I really wanted to have today was how to talk to people about the business, because I feel like that is something that most of you have said to me, I don't know how to do that. I know how to talk to them about the products. I get that. I see that. I'm comfortable with that. But it's the business where people like choke up and they don't know how to like talk to their people who are on their team about the business, or they don't know how to talk to people that they're out in public with about the business. So I thought we could do some role play just for the last 15 minutes and then we'll be done. And so who wants to come up and play with me? That sounds so weird and wrong. It's not what I, okay, do it from there, Jamie. Can the people on the video hear Jamie from over there? Can somebody give me like a thumbs up or something like that? If you're on the Zoom, can you hear Jamie?
I'm all the way over
yes,
here.
okay, so just project, Jamie. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend like Jamie is my prospect, and I'm gonna make this as real as possible. Okay, so let's say that this is just gonna be natural for me to use an experience at the cheer gym because that's where I met Jamie from. So I'm just gonna say, okay, I just walked into the cheer gym. I've got my bag, I've got my phone. And everyone is just kind of sitting watching their girls.
Screaming girls with bows everywhere.
Yeah, screaming girls with bows everywhere. Okay. And there's lots of other moms, and Jamie and I are sitting right next to each other. It feels kind of weird with you across the room, but
I could crawl.
it's fine. No, Jamie just had surgery. We'll just let her. Gosh, this is such a lazy person. Okay. So Jamie's like sitting next to me and I'm like, Jamie, my gosh, like tell me about your daughter. Like tell me which one is yours.
She's over there and we've been cheering for 7 years.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So do you have any other girls in cheer? Just
No,
this one?
Just one.
Just this one.
And my other one didn't want to cheer.
Didn't want to cheer. My gosh. It's like really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super expensive.
Do you have more than one girl?
Just the one. Yeah. Yeah. The wolves are raising her. So they're totally raising her. So, do you like when you go to all the competitions, like is she on a higher level, or we're just like on the minis? So I think we just travel once, but
we travel twice and we go, she's on a level 4 or 5, I don't know. She's on a 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like
but
really
I sure
impressive.
wish I had some money to pay for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
That'd be great.
Well, it's like so expensive. Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been at the cheer gym for 7 years. I've had my own struggles with breast cancer, and I'm pretty knowledgeable on supplements and healthcare because I chose not to do chemotherapy or radiation.
Wow. That's so impressive. I have a friend named Dawn, and she's fought breast cancer through food also. I would love to have you meet her someday. There's actually this website that she told me about called Kris Beats Cancer. Have you heard of it before? Yeah. She gave me that website when my uncle was diagnosed with cancer.
It's a great site.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I actually had up a community group called Healing Strong, but it's his nonprofit.
Oh, cool. That's so cool. So what kind of things do you do? Like what kind of supplements do you take?
A lot of herbs and some estrogen blockers and some metabolism regulators and some metabolic stuff. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I've been doing it for 8 years.
Wow. So how much money do you spend on something like that?
Well, I've spent up as much as probably $2,000 a month and probably as little as $500.
Wow. That is that makes cheer look cheap.
It's cheer ain't cheap.
Gosh, so it's like coming to my mind as we're sitting here talking, but I know we don't know each other very well, but my friend Dawn that I was telling you about, I actually know her through this company called Plexus that I take their supplements, and I don't know how comparable it would be to some of the things that you're taking, but it's, I mean, the most I've ever spent on products for myself is $300. I don't know. Would you ever be interested in like looking at some of the nutrition labels and kind of comparing some of those things? I'm just thinking like, maybe there's something there. I know it's really helped on through a lot of her treatment, and maybe it could be something that could, I don't know, replace some of the things that you're doing or add to what you're already doing. I don't know. Would you ever want to look at some of those things?
Yeah, I would be interested in reading the labels.
Okay. Because one of the things that it has really helped me with is, I mean, we could never have done cheer 3 years ago, like never, but the products for me, they like got rid of my mood issues and my sugar cravings, my energy issues, my hair stopped falling out. And when it started to do that, I just like started telling people about it, like obsessively telling people about it. And it totally paid for itself really quickly. But like my husband doesn't even ask me how much, like he doesn't even know how much cheer is, because I just,
it's probably better that way.
yeah. Yeah, because it's been really lucrative for us. Like I'm super surprised, but I don't know. I think it would be something that maybe we'll see what you think about the ingredients and things like that.
I'd love to look over them, and I'm definitely interested in learning how to pay for them.
Okay. So that would be like visit number 1, touch point number 1. And the reason why I'm talking to you about it in this way is because I think that a lot of the time people think that when you talk about the business, it's like a one-stop shop. But you know that's not how you talk to people about the products, right? There are touch points. So that would be like touch point number 1. And by this time, the conversation in the gym where we are is probably going to feel awkward if I keep pushing her to talk about plexus. So that is, I've connected with her. I've used this opportunity to find commonalities. I've used this opportunity to make her laugh, so that she can see like, oh, this girl and I like her, you know, we're connecting. We have similarities. I'm not only talking about plexus. I'm not rushing to meet her trigger words of, I want to pay for the products. And yeah, I spend a lot of money. I'm not immediately saying, oh my gosh, you got to do plexus with me. Oh my gosh. I'm following the conversation naturally, like a normal person would follow a conversation if they weren't making money off referring a product. What were you going to say?
So here's my question then, is that you know that you and I are going to see each other again in 2 days.
Exactly.
So you know when you can follow up.
Yes.
For somebody that you aren't going to be seeing every week or twice a week,
yes,
do you just then ask for their contact info or say, hey, would you mind if I sent you some info?
Yeah, that's perfect. So, so what I would do in this situation, because it would feel really, it would depend on what's going on in the room around me, right? If the conversation in the room around me is still pretty dead and calm, I might say, let me get your phone number so I can send you those labels. And then next time we talk, then I can answer any questions that you have or something like that. And I also am going to put her on my hot 20 list at this point, so that as I'm looking at the events that we have this month, I'm going to be thinking, what would be a good fit for Jamie to escalate this process? Knowing that she really cares about supplements and ingredients, and that she's treated her body holistically with other foods and things like that, I am probably going to think that a product call is going to be a great fit for her, and also a business call. It's not going to overwhelm her, because I can already tell that her personality wants to be fed with a water hose, right? But someone like Beverly, who is not that way, that would overwhelm her, and she'd rather die than get on a Zoom call. She'd rather die than show up to something like that and listen in. So you have to be cognizant of the personality that you're working with. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. And I think that's the biggest mistake that I made in my business in the beginning, was I wanted to check things off a list and have everything be uniform and exactly the same every time. And it's not that way. And I know I always say this, but it's just like raising babies. I have 4 different kids with 4 different personalities. And if I parented them all the same way, there would be a problem. Because what's fair is giving people what they need, not everything the same. So at the beginning of the month, the reason why I redo my Hot 20 list every single month is because I want to sit on December 1st, and I'm doing this today. I already have my list ready to go that I'm going to add people to it tonight or today, after, like probably this afternoon or maybe before bed tonight. I will sit down. This is a habit of mine on December 1st. I have rituals that I do, and one of my rituals is on the 1st of every month, I make a new Hot 20 list. Some of the names I transfer over from last month. Some of the names are brand new from people that I've met as I've made new friends out doing my life, right? So I'm going to look at my Hot 20 list and I'm going to say, okay, I know we're going to be doing a 7-day challenge the second Monday of the month. I know we're going to be doing a 3-day blitz at the end of the month. So I'm also going to be looking, are we going to be doing there's the Monday product calls that Plexus does every single Monday now. That's going to be a great fit for someone like Jamie, because not only are they going to go over the products, they're also going to talk about the business, and they're going to have a diamond ambassador on there who's going to share their business testimonial, and they're going to have 2 health stories on there. So every Monday, there's going to be a product call. In December, I don't have a product call for our team planned. I can't remember. I saw Brooke's schedule last night, but I can't remember if she had one or not. So most of the time, there will be something from our team as well. There's always the wellness from within page if they don't want to come to an event. Again, you have to be aware of the personality you're working with. If I stuck a personality like Bev into a wellness page on Facebook, she's never going to go. She's never going to want to go read that stuff. She's the type of person that wants to meet in person. So with someone like Jamie, I'm going to say, there's this call on Monday, Jamie. And maybe I say this to her while we're sitting there, if the space allows it. But if the conversation in the room has already shifted to another conversation, that's going to feel really awkward if I keep talking about my business and my products with her, most likely, right? So you just want to follow social cues around you. And if that's something that you're needing to work on, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book on that. I really even if you have great social skills and you haven't read this book yet, you should read it because it will help you. What was it called? How to Win Friends and Influence People. The other book that I consider to be, and I've read all the books, but this is the one that I just recently read that I love the very most, and it's called The People Code by Taylor Hartman. And I've met him personally because Bev introduced us. He lives here in Utah, and he is the original creator of the color code system. So all of these other books, like the Network Marketing MLM book that I've read and told you all about, and all the other ones that are out there that you can do, they are all branch offs of his original creation 30 years ago. So you're getting the original color code in that book. And you're going to start to hear me talk about the colors are a little bit different than the ones that we are all familiar using. So in that color code, I am a red yellow. And everyone's like, no, you're not. Because that's not what yellow means to our group, right? And so what I want you to, you should read that book. If you're serious about your business, you should read that book. But just think of it as like more light and knowledge, not like a shift of your whole paradigm. Like, oh my gosh, the colors are so confusing now. No, in my mind, I'm like, okay, which color code am I talking about? I'm talking about Taylor's. Okay, I'm a red yellow. I'm talking about the one that we've been talking about for 3 years. Okay, I'm a red blue in that one. It's like, it's okay. Just be open-minded. Kris? Yes, it's called the People Code. It used to be called the Color Code, and then they came out with a revision, and it's the People Code. And the beautiful thing about it is that after you read the people code, there is the character code book. And basically what the book talks about, the people code, is we are innately born with our personalities, and there's nothing wrong with us. We just have our own natural tendencies that we were born with. There's a questionnaire at the beginning where you answer questions based off of how your personality was as a child, not how you are now, but how you were as a child. And I mean, I was like calling people like, what do I do? Am I this? Am I this? Am I this? I'd call my parents. I even called Alec Clark on one of them, and he was like, yeah, you're totally self-deprecating. And I was like, oh, I am? So I'm working on that. But it's like, when you ask the people around you what you are, because they will know you better than yourself. And it took me, Bev was making fun of me, it took me 2 weeks to take the test because I was like, such a red about it, right? I'm just like, it has to be perfect. If it's not done right, it's not worth doing, right? So, but find out, you can take this. I know you can even take the test online, but just buy the book. Just buy the book. So that you can get to know yourself better, and you can get to know the people around you better. Because once you understand yourself better and you understand the people around you better, you'll also be able to see that we need all the colors. And we have all the colors within ourselves. We just have more dominant colors that we were innately born with. And then that's where the character development comes in, because we can work on ourselves and we can develop more of one color personality. We can become that as we develop ourselves. And really, that's what makes life so great and rewarding. And that's what creates you into becoming a better leader. The way you attract better leaders is you become a better leader. You cannot, John Maxwell says, you cannot attract a leader who is better than you are. So if you are struggling to attract high-level leaders, it's because you are not at that high-level leadership yourself. And I vividly remember, a lot of you don't know me 3 years ago, but I sucked as a leader, like not a leader at all. In fact, I remember praying like, Heavenly Father, please help me to be a better leader. I knew this was a weakness of mine. I mean, I had some natural leadership abilities, but I was so scared to do this business because I had struggles in leadership that I always had problems with growing up. And I just remember thinking, I just want to be a better leader. So I would like pray to become Relief Society president, which is like so dumb, right? But I was like, I knew that if I was like thrown into a fire like that, I'd be forced to do it. Thank goodness that was not how he answered my prayer, because then I would have not been paid for all this. And I always say, like, I'm like the best well-paid Relief Society president in the church. So, and everyone that's not Mormon that watches this, that's in plexus, will be like, what is she talking about? So, sorry about that, guys. Go Google it. So anyway, but it has been a fire by baptism experience for me, and I have failed and made people upset. I have hurt feelings. I have, it has not been beautiful in a lot of ways, but it has been beautiful in a lot of ways. So if you are feeling, and every time that I know I need to grow, I feel myself hitting that lid, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay, this is hard. I need to grow my leadership abilities. And that's when I read a book. So that's why I started reading the People Code in September, is because I knew that I needed to improve my leadership abilities to grow Sean's leg to emerald. I knew that I was not going to get any better if I kept doing things the same way, because his business had stayed stagnant for a year. And when I noticed we're not growing because I'm not growing. So I thought, I'm going to do some personal development, some leadership development. And I know that by doing those things, I will attract higher level leaders as I become a higher level leader. And that is exactly what happened. And and through the process, there were hard times. It wasn't like, oh, I read a book, I'm fixed. It was like, I would read, I was going through the process. And while I was going through the process, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, please help me. Like, I pray a lot over my business, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, Heavenly Father, help me to know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is really hard and I'm just struggling. Like, tell me what to do.
Sometimes sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
Emily, but I probably, when you're reading stuff like that, because we did this in my business.
Yes.
Everybody had to take this test, so we knew how to respond or communicate with each other. And so when doing so, you find things out about yourself that's like, oh gosh,
Yes.
Maybe
you don't, that aren't positive, or how you react to certain things, like, oh, that's a horrible reaction.
Yep.
So you do have to self-reflect and think, okay, how do I change that?
Right. And instead of, and this is something that I have done every single time the whole way through on this business. And if this is not innately your reaction, you can change it. But what I've done is when I go in those moments and I'm like, this is not working, I can tell this is my leadership ability falling short. This is not working. I sit there and I go, but I can learn this. I can do this. I can make myself better. I can invest the time. I can figure this out, and I can try new things and see if it works. And so I want to empower you as you leave today to do that. So I'm always looking to set the next follow-up with someone after I talk to them. So let's say I talk with Jamie at the gym. I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, her personality seems to be one that wants to be flooded with information. And she also seems pretty direct. So I think I can probably be direct with her. And so I'm going to approach her. In a follow-up, I'm going to get her phone number. She's sitting right next to me. I'm going to get her phone number. And then when I go home that night, I'm going to send her a message and say, here's a video, just that little triplex video. Here's a video just to get you started on what the triplex does. But we have a call on Monday. It's at 5 p.m. And it's going to have 2 product stories. It's going to talk a little bit about how you earn money with Plexus, because I know you were talking about you're interested about getting your products paid for. And I'd love to hop on that with you. Would you be interested in tuning into that? I'm texting her this later that night as a follow-up, right? And then Jamie's going to say, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Or she's going to say, I can't do that time. That doesn't work for me. And then I'm going to say, well, if I had a recording, would you watch it? And then she's going to say, yes, I think. But if she says no, that's fine. Then the next time I get together with her, I'm going to build that relationship. And if the conversation comes up or she asks me about it, then I'm going to engage with her. So I just want to encourage you to have natural engagement with people and always be thinking ahead. When am I going to see them next? When am I going to talk to them next? How can I escalate the process of getting them through the funnel faster? I always want to, within 1 week of talking to anyone about Plexus for the first time, within 1 week, I want to get them on a live call. Always. That's my 7-day rule. So from the time that they show interest about Plexus, I want to, and it's not the first thing. Notice I sent her the triplex video first, a third-party validator tool. That's always the tool that I used. So I send that tool first. And then after I send that tool first, I send a product story, because I've just talked with her about my friend Dawn. You better believe I'm going to find Dawn's story and send her Dawn's story, because she's going to connect with that. If you are not reading testimonials every day in the team page, how will you know what stories to send people, right? So check in on that team page once a day and just read the stories. Then after she's read the story, I'm going to make some product recommendations. Then I'm going to give her pricing. If she hasn't signed up at this point, that's when I'm going to invite her to a live call or some sort of live event, whether it's a 7-day challenge or a 3-day blitz or that live product call on Monday. I really want to get everybody in the habit of trying to get one person a week on those calls. And if your person that you're talking to that week is not a good fit for a live call, that's okay. You can do something else with them and check that off your list, because you know you're accomplishing the same thing with something else. You're still working, right? There are weeks where I'm like, man, I'm talking to 3 people and the 7-day challenge is only a good fit for one of them. So I'm going to do something else with those other 2 because I know that girl would really benefit from the 7-day challenge. And these other 2, I think she'd probably join if I got her on that live call. And then this other one, I need to go to lunch with her because she's more of like an in-person girl. And if I could go to lunch with her and share some stories with her, then I think I could get her to come. So it's really about like looking at your people. And again, if the people thing is hard for you, then read the book. Read the book regardless, because you'll understand and love yourself more. And then you'll understand why you failed with certain people in this business. I know when I was reading, I was like, oh, I screwed up with that person because I didn't know that they were that color. Right? So, okay, we're going to end now. And thank you. Any questions before we go at all? Any questions? Okay. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. I'm just so glad. Any questions on the Zoom? Type them in. So thanks for coming. I know everybody's going to go do holiday things today, and I hope you enjoy it. And we will meet back here again in January, but we're going to do it at someone else's house. We're going to rotate. Jamie offered her home, but I don't know if it'll be ready by January. Basement's ready. Basement's ready. Okay. So we'll probably do January's at Jamie's home in Draper. And then we'll rotate back. Hopefully Christy will be, hopefully her feet will be healed by then. So we might do Christy's in February or Kris. Okay. So we're really trying to like rotate it all around so that number one, it's not a burden to any one person. And also so that there's different, like we have a lot of people that come from all the way from down in Lehigh and Provo. And then we have other people that come from up north, like Bountiful. And so we're just trying to, and where did you, Syracuse? So you'll be so happy to have it, in Lehigh, so it's like, yeah. So we're just trying to like move it all around. And so I hope that that's helpful. I'm just going to look at the date. So it'll be January the 5th will be our next meeting, January the 5th at 10 a.m. And again, we'll just have breakfast. We don't always have to have waffles. So maybe we'll play around with that as well. So, okay. Oh no, we're gonna this one right here. So it's this people code right here, you guys. I'm gonna show it on here too. So this, or there's a combo with the character code included. 43 cents more. So get the combo. Shay is smarter than us all.
It's okay.
It's this one. It's the next one down.
That's the color code I understand.
This one, yeah, you're going to be so happy then.
The new one, I'm like, what are you talking about? What's green? Like, what is
yeah. Yeah. So this one, and also we're really, I'm really looking forward to doing an event for our team with Taylor in the future, probably in the next year. So we're just kind of starting to talk about all of that and do some things with him. So I think that will be really great. Okay. No questions on the Zoom. So I'm going to end it. Bye guys. We love you. See you later.